Today's lesson is on the sounds of the suffix ed. So, there are 3 different ways to make the sound for ed. Do you know what they are? Id, t, and d. Now, in the word rented, we're hearing the ed say id. The suffix ed can say id. This happens, and ed says id, if the last sound of our base word is a t or a d. If it's saying d or t. Sometimes the suffix ed makes a different sound. This word is jumped. Did you hear the difference? In jumped, ed says t. The reason that the ed is saying t is because of the last sound in our base word jump. The p sound is an unvoiced sound. Now, if you don't know what unvoiced sounds are, I want you to take your hand and I want you to put it right here on the front of your neck, and this is touching your vocal cords. If you make the p sound, that p sound, p, you won't feel any vibration from your vocal cords because p is an unvoiced sound. If a word ends with an unvoiced sound, then we use the unvoiced sound for ed, which is t. Put your fingers back on your throat and make the sound t. Once again, your vocal cords aren't vibrating. So when a word ends with an unvoiced sound, we use the unvoiced sound t for ed. There's one more sound though. This word is filled. Did you hear what sound my ed made? Sometimes ed says d. This is happening because the last sound of my base word is a voiced sound. So my last sound in fill is ooh. Put your fingers back on your throat and make the ooh sound. This time you should have felt some vibration on your neck from your vocal cords. If a word ends with a voiced sound, the ed is going to make the sound d, because put your fingers back on your neck. D is a voiced sound, and you'll feel your fingers vibrate for d. So, once again, ed can make 3 sounds. It can say id, like rented. It can say t, like jumped. And it can say d, like filled. For most of us who are native English speakers, and English is the main language we've always spoken, we can just hear what sounds right naturally when we're talking and know what sound to make for our ed. But for students who are non-native English speakers and speak another language, this can be especially tricky. But this is how we know. So if a word ends with t or d, it says id. If a word ends with the unvoiced sound, so we're not vibrating in our vocal cords, it makes the sound t. Or if it ends with a voiced sound, it's going to make the sound d when we have that vibration. Let's do a couple of practice real quick. So, my first word is spilled. So, make this sound right here. Ooh. Do you feel that vibration? When we feel that vibration, it's going to make the d sound. How about this word? I'm just going to tell you the base word, hunt. It's ending with that t sound. Well, I know if a word ends with a t or a duh, the ed says id, hunted. Last one, my base word is blink. Well, my last sound is the k sound. When I put my fingers here, k, there's no vibration. So that means my ed is going to say t. So just to review, ed can make 3 sounds. Id, d, or t. It says id if our base word ends with a D or T. It says t if we have an unvoiced sound, no vibrations here. Or it says d when we end with a voiced sound. I hope this helps you know how to make the sounds for ED.